No, I'm on.
Yep.
All right. It's awkward. Okay. Anyways, we're back.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what you're saying.
Kramer. Anyways, when he was on the Merv Griffin show. Anyways, if anybody has any
Well,
questions whatsoever about dog food, cat food, elephant food, it doesn't matter what kind of food it is. If you own an elephant, you know how to take care of it. You can ask me that too. Anyways, I took a visit to PetSmart last Saturday and ended up helping some of the customers there on behalf of PetSmart, and it was really interesting. One of PetSmart's customers had an autistic child that was asking a lot of interesting questions, um, especially about sharks. She seemed to be very obsessed with fish. The child did, the autistic child, and it was a lot of fun. We got it all on video, but I'm not sure that I'm going to post it because it is a child and they were autistic, so I'm probably not going to post it. But anyways, anybody can ask me anything that they want about pet food in general. Born and raised in the business, know all the secrets to the industry. I know the goods and the bads. Um, I know the lies that a lot of these pet food manufacturers are spewing about their foods, especially foods that you and I feed to our dogs and cats in general. It's just a really sad story. But now that I'm no longer in the business of it, I can actually go ahead and tell people the real truth behind pet foods in general. I'll give everybody a freebie here. If you Google the phrase, Google the following phrase: um, Blue Buffalo admits to lying to consumers. I think it's a story from around 2015, and as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, personally, I can never ever trust Blue Buffalo again, ever. There are many other dog foods out there that are pulling the wool over people's eyes about what they're feeding to their dogs and cats. And most of the ingredients that you see on the back of dog and cat food bags, it's all a lie. None of it. Some of them are actually legitimate pet food manufacturers, and they follow to strict guidelines and so forth. But 90% of them, um, their ingredients that are written or printed on the bag, it's just all a big lie. And you know who pays for that in the long run? Ultimately, is the dog or the cat that people are feeding the pet food to. I'm hoping that we have Dr. Lewis in here again tonight. That would be pretty cool. Dr. Lewis gives away a lot of free advice to people, and at no charge. I mean, just um, he probably the last time we had him on here, he probably gave away about $500 in free advice. And I'm just averaging that out because normally you go to a veterinarian and you want to ask questions, you got to pay. You got to pay them to go in a room and put a lab coat on and wrap a stethoscope around their neck. But Dr. Lewis is very different. He's a very, very nice guy. And he answers a lot of the questions for free, which is really nice too. So anybody can ask me anything they want about any pet food whatsoever. And I know most all of them by heart, the ingredient panels. However, there are a lot of newer foods out there that are popping up. They're called private label brands. What is a private label brand? A private label brand is, let's say you had, $25,000 to spare, and you wanted to start your own pet food company. Well, all you have to do is hire another pet food manufacturer to make your food for you, and then you can create your own packaging, however you want the packaging to look. And you say, oh, okay, I want this dog on there, and I want this to look like this, and I want the kibble. Normally, they can't do anything about the shape of the kibble, but some of them can. And then you just go out there and you start hustling your dog food. That's how a lot of brands have been built into these huge powerhouses. So that's a private label brand. Typically, you want to stay away from private label brands. You can look up, you can Google your own dog or cat food to find out if your dog or cat food is a private label brand. Very easily, you can say, is Blackwoods a private label, brand of pet food? Or you can just ask for a list of private label pet food brands from Google or ChatGPT, and it'll spit them out for you. You want to avoid private labels. You want to find mom and pop in-house pet food manufacturers where they can control all the ingredients and make sure that they put a lot of quality behind it. Because once you start buying private labeling, now you have to trust that person or the manufacturer that they're going to be doing the right thing on behalf of all your customers, and that they're also going to be, not, recalls. Recalls are a huge problem. I once had a recall with Taste of the Wild, which wasn't their fault, by the way. It started right in my store. One of my customers bought a bag. This was a long time ago. Thank you, Wild Child, very much. One of my customers had a yellow bag of Taste of the Wild High Prairie, and they brought it back within an hour, and they said they had opened it, and there was these big balls of fungus wrapped around the kibble, just like a big ball of fungus kibble. And I thought, wow, that's really strange. So I immediately called Diamond because that's who makes Taste of the Wild. Ultimately, what happened is Diamond puts these tiny, tiny, tiny little micro holes in the bags to help the bags breathe. But the manufacturer that was making the bags for Diamond made the holes 6 times too big. So moisture got in there, and then the fungus grew, and there was a huge nationwide recall for Taste of Wild High Prairie. Diamond did very well. They refunded everybody. Like someone like me, I'd have to refund the customer, get them a different dog food, and then Diamond absolutely, unequivocally refunded all the refunds that I had to give. So Diamond is a solid brand of dog food, although I don't agree with some of their Diamond Naturals ingredients. Hi, Wild Child. But Diamond overall is a solid food. Just to put that out there. I did look up another food this morning for somebody on TikTok chat, and I have to apologize too because there are so many questions on specifically my TikTok DMs and the comments and the videos, and I just can't get to them all. So it's so difficult. There must be hundreds of them. Hi, what food would you recommend for a 1-year-old German Shepherd that gets frequent diarrhea? Okay, so first I would start. Hi, Nathan, it's Macy. Oh, hey, Macy, how are you? That's, if I remember correctly, that is one of my old employees, Macy. German Shepherd, I would immediately start adding pumpkin. That's not entirely odd or rare for a German Shepherd to have diarrhea at that age. It should be going away after about 16 months. And I hate for it to sound like, well, I got to wait 6 more months for this dog to stop diarrhea all over the place. But you can add pumpkin to the food, and that will get things started to create a good bacterial environment, or what they call a healthy gut flora for the German Shepherd. And you can also just add probiotics, like, excuse me, the regular probiotics that you and I use. I mean, I give them to my dog 2 to 3 times a week, and I just pop open the capsule and dump it on the food. That's it, and that should start helping with that diarrhea. But as far as customers go, the customers that I remember that had German Shepherds fared very well with From, FROMM, anything out of their grain-free line, Taste of the Wild High Prairie, and Canine X, which was a green bag. It's spelled canine with an X, and that one's the chicken one. So those are the top 3 most popular foods that for my customers who had German Shepherds, what they were feeding to their German Shepherd. But definitely get those probiotics going. Even though there's probiotics listed on the ingredient panel for the food, you're welcome, pickle moonshine. A lot of that, not all of it, but a good amount of that good bacteria that they add is burned off through cooking. I would say anywhere from 10 to 20% survives. And I hope everybody can hear me okay.
Yeah, I was checking.
Okay. So if anybody has any questions whatsoever, it can be about reptile food. It can be about anything, really, pet related, of course. I mean, I don't know what the price of tea in China is right now, but I definitely know plenty about the pet industry. If anybody has any questions about that one. I love that name, though, Pickle Moonshine. Macy, was I right in saying, are you one of my old employees? I'm pretty sure that's you. Anyways, anybody can ask me anything about reptiles, reptile lighting, amphibians, fish, salt or fresh. Oh, okay. I was just looking at a picture, Macy, of all of us in front of the gorilla at the store. I just like 20 minutes ago, I came across it on my Google Photos. It's pretty funny. Yeah, saltwater fish, freshwater fish, reptiles, dog, cat, does not matter. It does not matter. And I'm also very close to, I'm so close on TikTok to reaching 30,000 followers. I'm less than 100 away. So it's really difficult to constantly get out there and film content, and we're trying to stay on top of it. But we're going to be cranking out some videos here shortly. This PetSmart near me, they like me, and I'm there all the time filming and so forth, and they don't seem to have a problem with it. Although, yeah, we did have to hide from. One day they had their district manager up there, which, by the way, his shirt was not tucked in, but he wanted all the rest of the employees to have their shirts tucked in. But the district manager, I don't know what his name was, but your shirt wasn't tucked in, sir. You got to lead by example if you want to be a district manager. We went to a Petco in College Station, and if you walk by, in any pet store, you walk by the fish tanks, and the fish are like going crazy, like following you because they're starving. That is a huge oversight in the pet business, is because fish can't complain. I don't know what it is, but a lot of pet store owners, even like, corporate pet stores like Petco, PetSmart, they ignore the fish. They don't feed their fish. So I went hunting around. I knew they had to have some bulk fish food there somewhere, and I found the bulk fish food where the cooler was. They have like a cooler to cool the water for the comets. And I just went around feeding the fish. I felt so bad for them. I was just grabbing handfuls and tossing them in the cage. But that is a huge oversight in a lot of pet stores. Is ancient grains good for my 6-month-old Frenchie? I hate that phrase, ancient grains, because it's like, aren't all grains ancient? I mean, they were here before us. It's just like a fancy terminology. But which ancient grains? I'm going to look it up. If you can tell me which ancient grains it was.
You can look it up here if you want.
No, it's okay. Nope. I got to be able to see the. Okay.
The comments are still there.
Okay. This is like some of my own petri dish work that I did on a lot of yeasts and fungi. I got a ton of these pictures. This was actually a swab from a dog that was about to be euthanized with cancer, and it turned out to be Candida albicans, which is a massive yeast infection. Okay, so Taste of the Wild Ancient Grains. Let me look that up here. Hang on a second. Do you know which flavor it is? Taste of the Wild. Oops, nope. I can't spell today. Taste of the Wild Ancient Grains. And I'll just pull it up. But if you could, anything but chicken. And a lot of people will say that, and a lot of veterinarians will say, well, your dog can't have chicken or turkey, or Your dog's allergic to chicken and turkey. What it really is the dogs are allergic to what the turkeys and the ducks and the chickens are eating, because they're meant those anything feathered is made to be plumped up quickly, and the way they plump them up quickly is corn, wheat, soy, and the magical ingredient, which is yeast, because that makes them hungrier. That makes them eat more food. It'll make a human even hungrier. So it's really just their food that they're eating is getting processed into your dog food, and they're passing that on to your dog. Um, let's see here. I'm trying to pull up the ancient grains, ancient prairie canine recipe roasted. Okay, so this one is like the high prairie. So let's see here. Okay, fine. Let's see. I don't see. Oh, there's the ingredients. Hang on one second here. Let me. All right. Oh no, this even though um, this one does have chicken in it. But let's see. Crude protein 32%, which means it has about approximately 10% more meat than the Taste of the Wild just below it. No, it doesn't. I'm lying to you. No, it has dried yeast. It's off. No, this specific one: water buffalo, pork, chicken meal, grain, sorghum, millet. No, no, no. Their other Taste of the Wild is better. Their regular one. Let me see if I can find um, ancient grains dog food. Ah, these companies, I swear. Okay, ancient wetlands. That's gonna have duck in there. Um, ancient grains. Um, gosh, I just can't win for losing here. Articles for dogs. Taste the Wild dog recipes. Now, the Taste the Wild Prey, Prey, the beef is fantastic. It is a really fantastic food. And in fact, you can tell the difference as soon as you open the bag. Um, the difference in how it smells. All right, so I'm gonna go to the roasted lamb here. Let's see what they got here for roasted lamb. Uh, no, okay. I don't know what's happening here. I'm clicking on stuff, but it's not opening up for me. Whether it belongs to explore ingredients. Yes. I hate companies that beat around the bush about the ingredients. Just show me the ingredients, for crying out loud. All right, so here goes. We'll try ancient grains. Um, I don't know what's going on. I
Get off their website and go just Google it.
Yeah. It's looking like they're really beating around the bush about being specific about what's in there, and I hate that. Feeding guide for adult dogs, guaranteed analysis. So a lot of the ancient grains, and I realize like a lot of people are like nervous about canine dilated cardiomyopathy, which is what veterinarians are telling. Well, not all veterinarians, because I know plenty of veterinarians that are actually calling BS on that, just as I am. But dogs can't digest. They can digest grain, but they cannot digest the nutrients from grain unless they borrow a bacteria from something that they hunted, and it's called Animalis bifida. Without that bacteria, they cannot digest any grains. And mind you, this is not grains that you and I eat. It's not like the white rice or the table corn that we eat. You know, this is cattle grade GMO corn, um, giant kernels of corn as big as your thumb, and it's not even cooked. It's cooked in the sense that it's baked through an oven, but it just makes the corn even harder. So they have to grind it down even more. And it's not even powderized. Like if you put it under a microscope, I did a video a few years back where I put Purina under a microscope. You can literally see all of the corn that is in I should call them shards of corn that are in Purina's food, because it's not like It's not like they're pre-boiling the corn or something. No, it's just straight dried corn right off the. It's shucked right off the cob by these machines, and just stuck in your dog's food. Your dog can't digest it, nor this other rice that they use. It's a common medium grain long rice, and your dog cannot digest it. It's merely there to water down the dog food, to make them more profit, and to puff up that kibble with as much trash as possible.
This is the ancient grains, ancient stream.
Okay, here we go. Ancient grains, ancient stream. Salmon, salmon meal, fish meal, grain sorghum millet. Oh, give me a break. That's something else that your dog can't digest. Cracked pearl barley. Cracked pearl barley. What is that? What, what they're trying to make it sound fancy, like he's at a five-star restaurant. Dried yeast and canola oil. Both of those are a big no-no. Dried yeast is certain, and you notice it's not specific about the yeast. Diamond, this is kind of shameful. I was just sticking up for you, Diamond, and this. So this can be any strain of yeast possible, and it's most likely going to be brewer's dried yeast, which is a highly aggressive yeast that is used for beer, to quickly ferment beer. And what do you think it's going to do to your dog's skin? It's going to ferment your dog's skin, make them itch and scratch. Whole grain brown rice, something else your dog can't digest. It'll just come out as waste. And let's talk a little bit about the salmon and the salmon meal and the fish meal. That is just the head and the tail. You're not getting the fillets. It's not like, they got, I notice a lot of the dog food packaging, they got like these pictures of these salmon fillets on there. Like, like you're getting this juicy salmon fillet for your dog, but you're not. And they're only suggesting, they're only implying that there could be, a piece of salmon breast in there, but there, or salmon breast, salmon fillet, the best part of the salmon, but there's not. I'm telling you right now, there is not. It's just the head and the tail and the bone in between, and you can buy this stuff in these giant 500-pound bags for pennies on the dollar from China, and this is where most of the stuff is coming from. Only one person in here?
No, there's 8 people in there.
Oh, okay. Taste of Wild Prey is good for my Frenchie pup. Yes. I've only fed the beef, Taste of Wild Prey beef, which is, it was a fantastic food. And remember, when you spend more on food, on pet food, you feed less because there's more meat in the bag. That's what makes it more expensive. But that doesn't go for all pet foods, because a lot of pet foods are lying about the meat content, and they're just jacking up the price. And that's all that's good for. What food would you suggest for 2 cats, ages 16 and 1 year old? So as far as the kibble goes, I can give you 2 of them across 2 budgets. So there's Taste of the Wild. There's this green bag. I think it's called Canyon River Feline. And then there's another one made by, I can't remember the name of it. Wholesome's Cat. It's like a brown and orange bag. And that costs a little less, and there's a little less meat in there as well. But those 2 are decent foods. And also, you can also, so we have these 3 feral cats wander onto our property, and they don't really care for kibble that much. I mean, they'll eat it, but I made the mistake one night of giving them meat, and now that's all they want is meat. So I go to the grocery store. You won't be able to find these at Walmart, at least not any of the Walmarts I've been to. And I buy a pack of chicken necks for about $1.25, and it will literally add taurine. It'll add meat from protein into their diet, collagen, and glucosamine from these chicken necks. They're very, very healthy. These cats will tear chicken necks up. They can each one of these cats can eat 3 to 5 chicken necks a day, and they just love them. I tell you, I never thought it would be so complicated to get a good food. Yeah, I know. It's really something. If people only knew what I knew, I mean, death threats. I've heard death threats between dog food sales reps because one sales rep would steal shelf space from the other one. It's just stupid. Wish I bring my dog to you. Vets here are not great. Um, oh, it, the way to find a good vet, like when you walk through the door, if you see Science Diet, Royal Canin, or Purina products for sale, walk right out the door. They're only there to sell you the most amount of medicine so they can get that Viking cruise or that European cruise. That's the case every single time. So we have a veterinarian not far from us that actually sells From in their practice. Fromm. They do not sell anything else but From. So that's a vet that we pick to stay at. Um, um, yeah. So there's a lot more that I could say about certain things through petshoptalk.com that I cannot say publicly due to the litigious society that we live in today, where everybody wants to sue everybody. So, but in a private space at petshoptalk.com, it's very easy to join. It's only $7. It helps support me at keep doing what I love to talk about and what I usually pass out from because I talk so quickly about it that I forget to breathe even. It happens sometimes. I've been talking to customers in the past so fast and I can load them up with so much information and then suddenly I realize I need to breathe and I have to like grab one of the shelving units, like hold on to it to get my breath back, because I'm not breathing because I just keep going and there's so much to say. And best dog food for German Shepherd, 2 Australian Shepherds. Okay, Kelly, I'm going to give you three options across 3 different budgets. I'll start with the most affordable one first, which is called Value Pack, VALUPAK, black or blue bag only. That's it. It's called Value Pack. You get a 50-pound bag for about $43, but you have to buy it privately. Otherwise, if you have a 50-pound bag shipped, it's going to cost a fortune. The second one is going to be Pet Kind, PETKIND, Pet Kind beef and tripe or venison and tripe. They're out of, I think, Nova Scotia. And they got a good solid food. And they have a very good solid canned food, a very unique canned food as well, where they put the tripe in the canned food. And then the third one would be Taste of the Wild Prey, PREY, beef only. And thank you very much. Who was that?
Milo.
Milo. Thank you, Milo. I don't know what I'm looking at. I got these monitors in front of me, but I don't know what's what. Like which one's YouTube?
That one's YouTube, but this chat here is
TikTok. Okay.
And those are the cameras, but this is what, like, so if anybody like gifts you or anything, you'll see it on
okay. Yeah, no problem. Kelly, I wish I still had a store to sell you food because I would have gladly done it. I did everything in my power to make quality pet food affordable to my customers. And if Macy, my old employee, is still in here, she can tell you that herself. I would constantly be harassing like Diamond and Earthborn and all them. Hey, please send me coupons. Send me coupons. And then sometimes they'd be like, we don't have any coupons. And I'll be like, that's okay. I'll make my own coupons and then you can reimburse me with product. Like I just did everything. And a lot of times, like I have these boxes and boxes and boxes of samples. I mean, floor to ceiling, probably 500 square feet of samples. And I would just give samples out all the time, constantly, especially when it came to like people being between checks and so forth. I would give them a whole box for free because all I have to do is pay for the shipping on it, which comes in an 18-wheeler. But it basically works out to be about $2.50 for 25 pounds of Diamond samples or, Taste the Wild samples. It's my pleasure, Kelly. Wild Child, I watched your live for 100 minutes. I've been on here for that long?
No, like
Oh.
seriously.
Oh. European Italian Mastiff Kibble. Oh, that's a big dog. I'm going to say to be really careful. I had a bull mastiff growing up that was allergic to everything. But anyways, okay. Let me give you three foods across three different budgets. The first one, once again, is going to be Value Pack, VALUPAK. Black or blue bag only. It's 50 pounds for about $43 or so. If you have it shipped, it's going to cost $100 because shipping on 50 pounds of dog food or anything 50 pounds is expensive. So all you got to do is go on their store locator and find it where privately, wherever it's carried. The second one for a Mastiff, I'm going to say Signature, like the word signature, but with a Z. Signature Kangaroo. That would be the second one. And then the third one would be Taste of the Wild Prey, PREY, beef only, just the beef. And when you open that bag of the Taste of Wild Prey, you can smell the difference. Like if you open a bag of Purina and you open a bag of Taste of Wild Prey, like the Purina makes you want to puke, but the Taste of Wild Prey, it's a very solid product. It's a very solid product. So please, if you'd like to support me, so I can continue to do what I love, if you could please join PetShopTalk.com, you'd have my full attention. You can get personalized pet care help, anything that I've ever helped customers with in the past. Um, yes, I just did a video, Kristen, on Honest Kitchen. It's in my feed somewhere in the TikTok feed, and it's called the best food at PetSmart. I think it was PetSmart, maybe Petco, but I don't think so. I think it was PetSmart, and I landed on Honest Kitchen because I wanted to find, if I'm gonna feed any food from PetSmart, what would it be? So I went through all PetSmart, checked all the ingredients on certain bags that I haven't familiarized myself with in years, but I landed on Honest Kitchen. Honest Kitchen is a solid product. Is Diamond a good choice, Valerie? So Diamond makes a lot of brands. They do private labeling for Sam's Club, Costco. Um, so they also have their what I consider the bottom of the barrel diamond product, which has like this big diamond on the front of the bag, and you can get like I think a 40-pound bag for 29 bucks. I would never feed that to my dog. That particular diamond product. That was actually their first product they ever made. Then they have the whole line with the diamond on the front. Don't feed it, in my opinion. I could tell you more, but I can't tell you on here. I could tell you through PetShopTalk.com, but I can't say it publicly. Anyways, then from there, they got another step up called Diamond Naturals. The last I checked, the only one that was passable to me was the Diamond Naturals Beef. It's a white bag with a blue stripe across the front of it, and then a step up from there is their like prairie line is kind of what they call it. Is like Taste the Wild High Prairie, Taste the Wild Wetlands Fowl, Taste the Wild Southwest Canyon. The only one that I would feed out of that line is the yellow bag, which says High Prairie. And then they got another step up from there called Taste of the Wild Prey, PREY. Definitely a good, solid product. I personally would only feed the beef one, but very, very good product. Definitely. What would you feed? Boykin Spaniel that has constant. Oh, and the problem too there, Shannon, is the floppy ears covering and not allowing oxygen into the ear. So if you could like figure out a way to like flip her ears up, maybe put like a little bow or something to let the oxygen in there because oxygen will. I can't say the K word. Oxygen will unalive yeast on contact. Like it's an instant, and it'll help shrink it back. And then the second thing you can do for your spaniel is use a product called NZ Puffer. It's basically just diatomaceous earth in a bottle where you can puff it. And so what that will do is you just do like one squirt in each ear, and that diatomaceous earth will draw moisture out of the ear. So yeast can't live without water. It goes into dormancy, and some of it will, I can't say the K word. some of it will be unalived through the lack of water. So that's the first thing you can do. The second thing is to stay away from anything that has feathers. No chicken, turkey, or duck, because chicken, turkeys, and ducks are all fed um, a scratch that is made from corn, wheat, soy, and yeast, because it's made to plump them up quickly, plump the birds up as fast as possible. And the yeast, when you give yeast to something, it makes it hungrier. And so they want more food. They're constantly wanting to eat. This is another reason why, some fish stores, you walk by their fish tanks and the fish start going nuts because there's yeast even in fish food. It's outrageous. Um, yeah, that is a good recommendation for Shannon. Is Honest Kitchen for your spaniel. But other than Honest Kitchen, I would say you're going to have an issue with the kibble size with the spaniels. They don't like big kibbles. So I'm going to say From, Fromm, beef frittata. It's a red and gold bag, black, red, and gold. And I think after a while, you'll actually, after, during this fall and winter where yeast goes into dormancy, you'll start to notice the difference, and then your dog's immune system will be able to fight it off while it's in dormancy. Stella and Chewy's. My only question for Stella and Chewy, which I can never get an answer to, I asked the sales rep twice, and I even called their main line. I'm getting no response. I want to know, where are they sourcing their chicken, because I know it's not all from the United States. There's no way the U.S. could keep up with the demand, and I have a hunch they're getting it from China. And you can ask the Greenies Chew Company. You cannot trust China at all when it comes to anything edible at all.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you, Shannon. What am I? Okay.
Those are Rose.
Thank you very much, Shannon. I've been feeding Taste of Wild. Taste of Wild yellow bag is not bad. That was the last one that I was feeding myself. Although lately they haven't had any kibble whatsoever. I've been feeding chicken, pork, and stuff like that. I'm not supposed to have any water on camera, so I just have to duck to the side to drink this real quick. Sorry. I give my dog the lamb, not chicken. Good to know. Okay, Celeste, just check on that bag, on the ingredient panel on that bag for the lamb. Just check and make sure that there's no added yeast. And you could take it a step further. You could call the brand and ask them where they source the lamb from. And if they tell you New Zealand, that's fantastic, because New Zealand doesn't give their lamb any grains at all. They're all grass-fed, 100%. But if you get it from the U.S., it's not good. Yeah, you're welcome. And like I said, there's so much more that could be said about certain dog food brands and stuff that I just can't say publicly. That's what PetShopTalk.com is for. Create a private space. It's $7 to join. Anybody can have me one-on-one. You can do. You can even show me it kind of does a Zoom call sort of thing.
Yeah, video calls.
Video calls. That's right. That's what they're called. And
On Wednesdays.
anyways, I really. What are your thoughts on splitting peas in legumes? Okay. Pinkie pie. Where have I heard that word before? I did this, and you know what? I need to post a video. If you take peas, legumes, fava beans, now they're putting in dog food, and you put them on a plate. You can even take cattle corn, uncooked cattle corn. Put it on it, because that's what goes in dog food. Any of the ones that claim to have corn in it, they use cattle corn, and it's not cooked. And then you put some random meats on there. The dog's going to eat the meat every single time. Every single time. The only thing that peas and legumes are going to help with is fiber. But the dog will not be able to digest any nutrients from peas or legumes or fava beans or rice or corn or wheat or soy. It's just waste. It just comes out as waste. Is all it is. So I'm not going to go out of my way to give my dogs, um, legumes, fava beans, or something like that. Um, they can't. It's called petshoptalk.com. They can't digest any nutrients from it whatsoever unless they have a specific bacteria in their belly called Animalis bifida. Um, but there's also what was the other thing? Oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say. But all the peas and all these legumes and all these grains and all this, um, that is a result of something called the Farm Act. Um, this comes from Monsanto. Started with Bush Senior, George Bush Senior. I think he took $4 or $6 million for his campaign fund from Monsanto to start this thing called the Farm Bill or the Farm Act or the Agricultural Act. And it's every single presidential election, Monsanto donates it again and donates it again. And every time the president gets elected, they just keep this pyramid scheme created by Monsanto to support Monsanto. It's it's the whole reason, like in the late 80s. I don't know if you remember this, like in the early 80s, as a child, I can remember there would be ingredients listed on products, but there wasn't that many, it's just like a few ingredients and that was it. But now there's like a flood of ingredients because the more ingredients that you buy from Monsanto and used in your product, the bigger the tax break you're going to get. So it's all just a big scam. It's really sad. You're welcome, Celeste. So, and again, there's a lot more to be said that I just can't say. What are your thoughts on grain or grain-free dog foods? Okay, I'm gonna I'll have to be careful what I say on here, but I'm gonna explain something about the grain and the grain-free. All right. So first of all, um, how do I say this? Okay, if you just hand your dog a handful of white rice for them to eat it, they can eat it. Their body will process it and they'll poop it out, but they won't be able to digest any nutrients from that handful of white rice. And this goes for any grain or bean out there. Um, if you gave that white rice to a rabbit and let the rabbit eat it, and then you process that rabbit, the K word, and then you fed that to your dog, now your dog can digest whatever that rabbit ate because it's borrowing this bacteria called Animalis bifida. Otherwise, it's just waste. All right. And so the first grain free foods that I can remember in the business was called California Naturals and EVO, which I think Petco carries EVO now, I think. Anyways, it was California Naturals and Petco. Those were the very first two grain frees ever. And they were very good foods. California Natural had a venison flavor that was really, really good. And then after California Naturals and Evo, their business, those two brands were taken off. And then the third grain-free food that I remember was Taste of the Wild. And then all these other brands and these companies, including Science Diet, including Purina, including Royal Canin, they were taking notice. And they were losing business head over heels for the manufacturers that were making grain-free foods that were actually good. Because there's lots of grain-free foods that are not good. Like Science Diet has a grain-free. Even though Science Diet will tell you not to feed grain-free, they have a grain-free line. It's ridiculous. Purina has a grain-free line. And they'll tell you, no, you need grains in your diet, but we sell grain-free just in case. And all these other companies came tumbling after, and now the race was on to be on top of the hill. Who can throw the most manure in their dog food or the most waste in their dog food and make the most profit and still be able to call it grain-free? So there's plenty of companies that did that, which I cannot say publicly, but I can through petshoptalk.com if somebody joined, and then I could tell them through there. But California Naturals, Evo, and Taste of the Wild were the first three grain-free foods that I remember seeing that had fabulous results to them. What about apples and blueberries or sweet potatoes as a treat? Now, so dogs, if you lift the lips of your dogs, you'll clearly see they're carnivores, 100%. They don't have molars for grinding like a cow or horse does, but um, they are grazers. Dogs and cats, especially, they are grazers. They will eat grass for fiber, and they will eat berries, different strains of berries. We have blackberry vines everywhere around here, and I've seen my dog go over and pulling berries off and eating them. There's a lot of good benefits for dogs for eating berries and certain types of herbs and grasses. That's no problem, but they're still considered carnivores. And if you were to go to your vet and say, "Is my dog a carnivore? Is my cat a carnivore?" They can't say no. They're carnivores. That's a fact. It's just no way around it. But yeah, sweet potatoes, a lot of that's just going to come out as waste. They won't be able to digest too many nutrients from it, but sweet potatoes do have prebiotics, which is good, and they will be able to utilize the prebiotics from sweet potato just as they would from pumpkin. Um, but oh gosh, I need to drink again.
Take a breath. Take a breath.
Yeah. So um, that just the whole grain-free thing just blew up. And then when Science Diet came out with their grain-free line, they thought it was going to save their stock because you can see Science Diet stock just. So they came out with their grain-free lines, thinking it was going to save their stock, and it didn't. So they came up. Science Hills, Science Diet, and Purina came up with the DCM scam. What's your favorite budget friendly dog food? All right, that's easily going to be Value Pack, VALUPAK, black or blue bag only. You get about 50 pounds for 43 bucks or so. You're welcome, Valerie. I really appreciate support at petshoptalk.com. It only costs $7 to join. Anybody can ask me anything they want, get my brutal honesty, zipper off my mouth, everything. No problems there. Anybody can also ask me anything about reptiles, elephants, lions, tigers, bears, oh my. Like, I've been around it all of it. I think I'm going to make a video showing people how they can catch snakes. Not to kill them. Oh, I said the K word. Not to unalive them, but I can show people ways that they can set these little things up and you can get snakes to go in them. That way you can relocate them. What's your favorite dog food for a very itchy Frenchie? From FROMM, Stacy. FROMM, beef frittata. The other problem with Frenchies is they're really picky about their kibble size. So from beef frittata only. They have other flavors, but don't feed them. Not for your situation anyway. From beef frittata has a small kibble, which is perfect for Frenchies. You're welcome, Stacy. Most of my customers had the best luck with From beef frittata with Frenchies. No doubt about it. But yeah, anybody can ask me anything they want about the pet business in general. Maybe you're looking to start a pet store. I wouldn't recommend it, but anything at all. I know all dog food and cat food ingredients by heart. Although one that I saw today that made my jaw drop is called Blackwoods, BLACK Woods. I looked up, I forgot what flavor it was, but when I looked up, excuse me, the ingredient panel was like 10 miles long. Like there was so many ingredients. There must have been over 80 ingredients in this dog food. Why is that? Because they're taking advantage of the Farm Act or the Farm Bill. The more ingredients you buy from Monsanto, the bigger the tax break you get. That's how it works. So the less ingredients you see on the back of a bag typically means that that company is not concerned with their tax break and they're more concerned about making a good quality product. So always look for the least amount of ingredients possible, or feed raw even. I thought of something today. You're welcome, Stacy. I thought of something today, or did I already say we're welcome? I don't remember. If somebody has fleas or even a yeast infection on their dog or their dog's itchy, I can't believe I didn't make a video about this, but one thing that people can do that will wipe all the fleas off the dog quickly is take him to the beach. If you happen to live near the beach, let the dog run around in salt water for a little bit, and those fleas would just dry up and they're unalived. I can't say the other word, but they'll just fall right off the dog. And when I was between the ages of 7 and 10, I was one of the first people in the world to be diagnosed with plaque psoriasis. I couldn't go to school for months. It was over 80% of my body. It was embarrassing. It was itchy. It burned. I was crying all the time. I mean, just really bad psoriasis all over my body. They were giving me all kinds of medications, and then this one elderly doctor said, "Stop eating bread and go to the beach." That's what he said to me. So I stopped eating bread. Power. I stopped eating bread and started going to the beach more often. And my psoriasis, it just took several weeks, but 80% of it was gone. It was amazing. So yeah, it'll get rid of the salt water will help get rid of fleas and yeast infections, no doubt about it. And water has oxygen in it, and oxygen will unalive yeast when it makes contact with yeast. Whew. Okay, there we go. Taking a breath. But yeah, anybody can ask me anything they want. Any kind of issues they may be having with their dog. I'd really appreciate everybody's support at petshoptalk.com, where I won't have such a zipper on my mouth, because there's only certain things I can say publicly, if you know what I mean. Everybody's looking to sue everybody these days, so I can say it privately. I can say certain things privately through petshoptalk.com, but not across public social media. There's just no way. I do need to make a video about that flea taking the dog to the beach. What about Voyager dog food? All right, I've actually never heard of that one. Let me look that one up for you really quick. Voyager. Is there a specific flavor? Voyager dog food. I put dig food. Voyager dog food company shop. Okay, here we go. Pulling it up right now. Looking up Voyager dog food for someone here. Explore recipes. All right. Packaging looks cool. Although,
Salmon.
okay, the salmon. Okay. Okay. Sensitive skin and stomach. Salmon recipe. All right. Well, that fancy packaging is gonna make the cost go up. So the customer is gonna have to eat that cost. Let's see. Hydrolyzed protein. Oh, not this stuff again. Why do they have to complicate dogs? It's not complicated. Okay, guaranteed analysis. Full ingredient list. Thank you. Oh, come on. All right, so first of all, when the dog food company says there's like salmon or whitefish in the bag, you're only getting the head and you're only getting the tail. That's it. You're not getting the fillet. You're getting the head, the tail, and the bone in between. That's it. So the first ingredient on here is peas. Peas. So that means the majority of the bag is peas. So the way that the rules go for, like, if you had made your own dog food and you sold it publicly, you have to list the majority ingredient first, and then it trickles down from there. Let me come right back to this. I'm curious how much this bag is. Holy monkeys. 6 pounds with a subscription for $34.99. Okay, so you're buying a big bag of peas, a hydrolyzed salmon, brown rice, chickpeas, and this is no insult to you if you have been feeding it already. How are you supposed to know? But I would never pay this kind of money. This bag should be about $11 in my opinion. For a 6 pound bag, it should be about $11. $34.99 is outrageous. Dried whitefish. You're getting very, very little meat, and you're getting you're getting a lot of the protein source from the grain, which the dog can't even actually digest any of the nutrients from grain. So I personally, I would never use that. Hey, Dr. Lewis. Yes, they are. Most of them are. I'm not supposed to drink on camera, so let me just. It's a big bag of peas. I don't want to give my dog a big bag of peas. Uh, it's it's not anything on you, Linda. How are you supposed to know? But um, I'm jaw dropped at what some of these manufacturers are making and charging. I make a month's worth of food for over. Yes, I personally make my own dog food, but yes, Dr. Lewis says bacterial digestion of starches is only a small percentage. If anybody in here has a veterinary question, take advantage of it now because he doesn't stay in for long. But Dr. Lewis is an actual doctor. It's not. He just doesn't play one on TV as well. But yeah, yeah. That's Dr. Lewis. That's for the Farm Act, the Farm Bill. The more you buy from Monsanto, the bigger the tax break you get. So, Dr. Lewis, you like if you want to start your own dog food, eventually Monsanto salesmen, which are now supposed to be called Bayer salesmen, Bayer, because Bayer bought them, because Monsanto made such a nasty name for themselves. But they'll approach you and they'll start offering you all these products to inculcate with your new dog food, and they'll say, and the more you buy, the bigger the tax break you get. And so people just the greed just consumes them and they just can't resist. What was the best Taste the Wild and the color? That would Taste the Wild Prey, Prey. The beef is the only one I fed. Personally speaking, I try to avoid anything with feathers that has been processed through a dog food manufacturer. Double-edged sword. They want high net, but a lot of people want lower cost food. Yep, it is a double-edged sword for sure. Um, let's see. What is the best way to store your dog food? Oh, that's an airtight container, or
I use those for my wheat.
you know. Oh yeah. There's these. Because my wife makes our bread, but she has like these buckets. And there's a company that actually makes them for pets, but they got a rubber seal on them, and you can just close the lid and it will seal indefinitely.
And they're food safe. I got them at Home Depot.
Oh, they're food safe, and she got them at Home Depot, is what she said. I still like High Prairie, Jenny. I still feed High Prairie. So we're buying food from Bear. Then our dogs need script. I didn't think of that. It's pretty funny. Victor Multi-Pro, a good one. I am not a fan of Victor Dog Food at all. It's changed hands multiple times now. The original owner of Victor Dog Food was a hell of a guy, and he passed away from cancer. But he sold the company before he passed away to give money to his family, so his family had some money. But Victor has changed hands so many times. There's like one of the football players owned it. I have a very crazy story about a Victor salesman that came into my store. Can't speak about it publicly. The only thing I can say is that police were almost called because I did a video showing people about the math, and it's in my feed. It's in my TikTok feed. I think it's a very, very, very bottom video, all the way down to the bottom. And I show people how to do the math and show people just how much meat is actually in that bag. So a 40-pound bag of Victor worked out to be about 4 pounds of food, or 4 pounds of meat out of a 40-pound bag. The rest was just a bunch of flour and trash. But if somebody asks me through petshoptalk.com, I can tell them what happened, but I can't say it publicly. But it was ugly. It was really ugly. Beth Ursher forever. You spelled it wrong. No, I'm just kidding. I know it's Usher. You can actually buy these giant Ziploc bags through Uline. I mean, they're huge Ziploc bags. They'll hold 50 pounds of dog food. And what I used to do is, at my store, I had these big giant sinks because we clean tanks and stuff in them. But I'd fill them up with water. I put the dog food in the giant Ziploc bag, and then you just immerse the bag, and it will push the air out of the bag. You don't need one of those fancy vacuum sealers. The water will just push the air out of the bag, and you just zip it up. Like if you're gonna travel or something. What do you feel about supplements for older dogs with arthritis, drop leg? Do they help? That's for Dr. Lewis. Dr. Lewis, do you want that one from Tanya? I can tell you, Tanya, with my experience with joint supplements, but Dr. Lewis would be able to say a lot more about it because he works with that every single day, I'm sure. Open farm, again, there's only so much I can say publicly, but I would personally not feed open farm myself. It's just another big bag of tax breaks. Oh, Dr. Lewis, are you still in here? A vitamin? Yeah, it's hard to find a vitamin without yeast. Uh, okay, I don't know what just happened. Some crazy just happened. I I don't know what just happened. Anyways, oh, I see. Here we go. Help! Help! Something's wrong. No, you cannot ever. Undenatured type 2 collagen for joints. I was trying to get. So this happened as my wife's helping me because I'm on 3 different. Oh, I didn't know that mouse was for that one. Okay. It like yelled at me.
Yeah, I heard it. I was trying to back up.
Oh. And I was like, why does this always happen when she walks away? But I'm not sure if Dr. Lewis is trying to join or not, and I can't tell because I don't know what's what.
I don't. Oh wait. Yeah.
Because normally it'll say allow someone to join or whatever. Dr. Lewis has more to say like in person rather than chat because I know it's sometimes he's probably walking his dog and it's not easy to like type and hold a leash at the same time. There it goes. But
What goes?
I mean I saw his name right there.
Well, yeah, I know that. There's like a.
Acting. All acting crazy. You're acting crazy out there, man. Oh, by the way, I can do a very good Harrison Ford impression. A little fun fact as we're trying to figure out what's happening here. But anyways, Dr. Lewis, I'm trying to figure out how to, because we're using monitor and stuff, and normally I have it on my phone and I invite as guests, but it's not the same anymore. It's not the same layout, and I know you'd have a lot more to say verbally.
Okay, I think it's on.
But
Can you hear me okay?
yes, actually we can. Maybe.
Well, I'm going to step out of my car. I have a bad echo.
Oh, okay. How do I? Okay, hurry up. Every time she walks away, all this bad stuff happens. Anyways, Dr. Lewis is in here if anybody wants to ask him a quick question. Because he's has a lot to say about a lot of certain subjects and so forth. Yeah. Goodness gracious. Yeah, as soon as my wife walks away, everything goes wrong here. You're welcome, wild child. Yeah, speaking of wild, that is a wild story. What happened with Victor Dog Food, and the Victor Dog Food. I think it was the VP of Victor Dog Food. Um, when he left my store on a bad note, he left behind his paperwork um, that he got from his boss on what to talk to me about. And I got to read all of it. It was nasty. It was nasty stuff. They were really upset about that video, but they couldn't prove me wrong because they know I'm right. They just didn't want that kind of information out there for everybody to see. Okay, no problem, Dr. Lewis. Yeah, so if anybody has a question for Dr. Lewis, you can type it in the chat. Um, anybody on YouTube and what's the other one? YouTube, TikTok. I forgot the other one. But if you have a question for Dr. Lewis, you can also ask, but I just have to wait for my wife to get back so she can show me where to see that chat for YouTube. Because like I said, I've got all these monitors in front of me and microphones and all these. Oh, I don't know how to. I don't know how to do that. Oh, yeah, I see it. It says something went wrong. You got that right. Something went wrong, all right.
Can you hear me okay?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm still not sure why we have a bad echo.
It's probably like there's a. Oh no, I got a microphone on my left and right, and then the two cameras also have microphones on them. And I'm sorry.
They're not being used. Is
Oh.
that any better?
She kind of split the microphones up. Is that any better?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you kind of sounded like Darth Vader.
Yeah, I think that is better.
Okay. Milo, why do you always have to ask incendiary
So,
questions?
in regards,
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
so were we talking about the joint support supplement?
Yes. Joint support. And for anybody that does this, Dr. Lewis.
Yeah, so the joint support supplements, I mean, there's a million of them on the market. The supplement industry is a multi-billion dollar. It's no different than how bad, the situation is with the various foods that are out there. So the main ones you'll have to take into consideration, of course, of your old-fashioned, glucosamine and conjoint products. But you really have to be picky with what you're getting. It's the same things like when people take like a energy drink and they pump some glucosamine into it. You think you're actually getting some benefit from that. You are absolutely not getting any benefit from that. That's utter garbage. So there are a few companies. I like products if they've gone through some form of clinical testing and there's some third-party verification actually at least telling you that what the Dasequin, which comes from the company Nutramax, I don't have any particular issue with that product. I don't have like a lot of reactions to it. Some people have given me positive feedback after a good 4 to 6 weeks being on it, so I'm fine with that one, but you don't have to use that one specifically. Type 2 undinatured collagen, there's new literature coming out on the use of collagen for joint support, and specifically it has to be type 2. There are some branded products like Flexidin or Jovi. The only issue I have with the branded products is they add a lot of other mixed ingredients. Now, on face value, they add in something like turmeric. Turmeric inherently, if you were to do it at a high enough dose, may actually exert some anti-inflammatory benefit, but the issue is they're not putting enough in of these other products to make them worthwhile. So usually, I just advise my clients to go over to Amazon, and you can buy just generic type 2 undenatured collagen, and you can just give that only to your pet. The third biggie would be essential fatty acids, but the issue with omega-3s, you have to give a lot. And when I say a lot, it really has to be a lot if you're trying to exert anti-inflammatory benefit in the joints. That's something, if you go onto Google, you could even chat GBT that, how much omega-3 do I need to specifically exert anti-inflammatory benefit in my dog's joints? And you'll see what I'm talking about. It's not like one little capsule of fatty acids. So that I do research into that, because a lot of dogs may not even tolerate the amount of omega-3 added to the food that is necessary to actually get the joint benefit you're seeking. So that's when you really need to work with your veterinarian to make sure you're supplementing correctly. What good is helping joints if your dog has diarrhea? That's pretty much my little summary. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other therapies. If you have advanced joint issues, you could do cold laser therapy. That can have some temporary analgesic benefit of the joints. You can do Adequan injections. That's the PS gags that get injected into the body. It's like a shot you get. I think it's twice a week for about 4 weeks, and then you go down to like a shot every 1 to 2 weeks. Those can actually be very effective support. There's a lot of therapies you can do in combination. Just a question of, I hate to say this, you're really at the mercy of the education of your veterinarian and how familiar they are with pain management.
Yeah. Somebody asked a good question, Jeannie, because we also had a Pomeranian. They're notorious for having hip problems. She said, I have a small Pomeranian with hip issues. He has had one surgery on one, and now the hip is popping, which is the same thing we went through with our Pomeranian. Anything she can do, Dr. Lewis?
Okay, so first we have to clarify, is it truly a hip dislocation, or for that breed, more commonly, it's not the hip, it's a medial patellar luxation. It's the kneecap that's popping in and out of place. I think she might be referring to the knee and not the hip. Surgical correction can actually be very effective, although I only recommend, even though a general practice vet can do it, I encourage you to only have a surgical specialist do it. If it's a hip issue, in that case, it really depends on how bad the x-ray looks, because some of these dogs, once they get older, there is so much arthritic disease in the joint. The best way to deal with it, and this is not a joke, it's called an FHO. You're literally chopping the head of the femur off. So that ball at the top of your pelvis, they simply chop it off. Effectively remove the entire source of pain. Now, the dog may walk a little bit awkward, and they're not going to be running marathons with you, but you effectively removed the entire problem because there is no grinding in the joint anymore.
Right. Understood. Yeah, we went to...
I'm not sure if they're really talking about the hip. That breed, the kneecap is more of the issue, not as much the hip.
Yeah, because I would pick up right So, I've got a connection issue on my end. It has nothing to do with you, Dr. Lewis. There's something's going on with connection on my end, and I don't know what to do. But I'm sorry, I have no idea what that is. Oh, bloody crap. Sue.
You may want to. I'm also curious if the community, your voice is also a bit softer for me than I would have expected with my volume on high. I don't know if that's me or you as well.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll move the mic. That's probably
Oh. Here, let me see if I can just fix that right quick. Oh, this one. Let me pull this one a little bit closer. Okay, so this might be a little bit better. Anyways, Sue asked about. I forgot. Anything to go back to the comment. This is all new stuff. You said something. I just saw it and it just left. works. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, at least Sue, can you retype that question because I lost it. I don't know how to go backwards. I do on my phone, but I'm not using my phone anymore. Oh, right there. I have a rescued. Oh, I have a rescued pit German Shepherd mixed, approximately 3-year-old, skin issues. He's on science diet. Um, uh, I hate science diet first off, but maybe Dr. Lewis can put in his 2 cents worth about skin issues with your mix.
All right, so the quick breakdown here. First, don't worry about the food because statistically, at your dog's age, 75 to 80% of the allergy-related cases are due to environmental allergies. Is called atopic. That be reinforced that if your dog also has any history of licking the paws or ear infections, then environmental allergies is also statistically very high up on the list. So to support that diagnosis or that give a cytopoint injection, that's antibody therapy, or they put your pet on Apoquel or Zenrelia, and your dog is suddenly greatly improved within a couple of days, well, that would not likely be food related at all because your dog would not be expected to have that degree of improvement that fast on that type of therapy. Now, the only common mistake veterinarians tend to make in this situation is that some of these therapies that should work end up failing because the skin is already infected with bacteria and or yeast. So if they do that type of therapy, they must address the infection at the same time. Now, there are some circumstances where I would say 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 cases are food related. Now, here's the problem. Food. To do a true food allergy diet trial, you got to go on a very unique, it's got to be a single protein food. It really needs to be a protein the dog has never been exposed to. Actually, cats too. It's not just a dog issue. So if your dog has been on, it's already been on chicken, it's already been on turkey, it's already been on beef, well, you're probably going to lose anyway because those are they tend to be very highly allergic proteins. Your pet really needs to be on a very plain type of food. So that's where, when we're talking about these foods that have all these other ingredients in them, or they have the grains in them, or they have mixed protein, then that ain't gonna work. So if you want to do a true food allergy diet trial, I wouldn't even bother until you address environmental allergies first. Otherwise, and this is what I do all day long, especially in Southern California, you end up pursuing 2, 3 different types of food, and maybe it works. And that's also true because most of the studies that I'm aware of, even if you have the correct food for your pet and you are not cheating, you're not putting other proteins into them, forget the carbohydrates for a second, just proteins, most dogs will not improve on that food until a good 3 into that trial. You see where the inherent problem is? Even if you had the right food, the client is giving up in 2 to 3 weeks when only 50% of them improve by week 3, and most of them need to be on a limited ingredient food for no less than 6 to 8 weeks in order to truly ascertain if they have a food allergy. So you can see why I don't mess with food first. I ain't waiting around 3 to 4 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks. I'm going to go after what is most statistically significant. And that is an environmental allergy. It's 3 out of 4 dogs. It is environmental, not food related.
Okay, actually, I've had customers say we switched him to his new food yesterday, and he's still itching. Like, it's not an overnight fix or what have you. I'm like, what? Anyways, he said that they're following ear infections, just very dry skin. In which case, I would recommend like a fish oil or something of that nature, but you might have a different answer, Dr. Lewis.
Yeah, in that situation, I love fish oil. In fact, and I think this is available on Amazon, don't quote me, there is not just oral essential fatty acids, there are topical essential fatty acids. So they spread through the skin, kind of like a topical flea medicine. The specific product I'm referring to is called Dermacent Spot On Therapy.
Oh,
Dermacent.
okay.
Uh,
Sue, I'm
And
actually.
that's an interesting little product because if you have a dog that won't tolerate EFAs, then you could do topical EFAs.
Okay. Sue, I'm actually from South Florida originally, but I've been in Houston since. But, but Durham, yeah, I had people put.
I got to mute for one.
Okay. Dr. Lewis had to mute it for a minute. But anyways, I've also hardly ever seen dogs. Yeah, I figured when you said Southwest, I was like, yep, they're in Fort Myers. Um, so it's something I hope my reception's okay. I rarely see dogs refuse coconut oil. It really helps from the inside out, but you can also use coconut oil directly on the skin. So coconut oil is another option as well. Oh, um, I'm definitely having some issues with Wi-Fi and stuff here. So if I was wondering if everybody can hear me okay, or am I like freezing up on the computer and stuff? Yeah, Sue, you can put the coconut oil directly on the damaged areas, but just a fair warning. I mean, if they can reach it, they're going to lick it off because most all dogs don't know why they do. It's not harmful to them. It's okay. But I am curious about that dermacint. I'm going to look it up later. I'm freezing a little bit, but good. It's stuttering. Dang. Well, normally I use my phone, but we have like all these new monitors and stuff. We're just trying to get used to it. But yeah, that Dr. Andrew Lewis, really nice guy. I mean, most veterinarians would charge you $250 for that advice. Oh, you're on a plane. Okay. It's on his back. He can't get to it. Oh, okay.
He's advised about the coconut.
Okay.
If there is any active infection on the skin, especially yeast, be very careful with any oil-based product because let's say it's not like in a sick type of oil. That oil will make that yeast
Cell or something like that. So, oh, there's another good product called Ultra Oil. That stuff flew off my shelf at the store. I mean, it's a very very good oil, and they may even send you a free sample of it. I think for like a 16-ounce bottle, it's 19.99. A lot of good feedback from Ultra Oil. I have nothing to do with them. I'm not getting any kickbacks or nothing, but that was a really big seller at our store, big time. Um, yeah, Dr. Andrews. There's
Dr. Lewis.
Dr. Lewis. Sorry. um, oh, okay. Bonbon is what shampoo to recommend for a dog with a yeast infection. So my answer to that, then Dr. Lewis, I'd love to hear your input. It would be a shampoo with no parabens and no sulfates, which I know of only two. One of them is Earth Bath, and the other one is Zymox. But Dr. Lewis, you might have oh man, you might have a different answer for, for which shampoo to use with yeast infections.
Well, it depends on the severity of the yeast infection. I mean, if there's a pretty serious infection, I will not be managing it only with all. But again, it depends on, are we talking like a little lesion, or are we talking like the whole belly of the dog is, covered with a rash?
Somebody was telling me that my screen is freezing up and mumble jumble again, and I apologize. I have no idea what's going on, but they did not say the severity of their yeast infection. Maybe they can, Bonbon can list it or type it on the. Oh, she says big rash. That's what she said, big rash. Is it under the armpits and on the belly? Could you tell us, tell Dr. Lewis specifically where it is? I'm just waiting for her response there. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, in the meat.
Yeah, you mentioned that the other night, I believe. Yeah, she said it's under the arms and under the belly, which is very common for that to be. Nobody ever wants to talk about snakes, though. I'm like, let's talk about snakes or turtles or tortoises. But anyways, thank you very much, Dr. Lewis, for coming on here. I know personally of some veterinarians that would charge like just to ask them a question. I've had customers tell me just to ask them one single question is like $100. A lot of good feedback from you being on here and how unselfish you are with your information, and I think that's terrific. It's terrific.
Oh no, absolutely, no big deal. I love educating.
And Bonbon said she didn't hear the name of the moose. You think you could type it in the feed if that's not too much to ask? Milo says, thank you so much, Dr. Lewis. Okay. Oh, when you said Mycona something, I was thinking of Myconazole. So I bet that's like the same kind of idea, I guess. So there goes the moose right there.
Well, Myconazole is just a single ingredient. I'll write down the name of the shampoo in just a sec.
Okay. Yeah, hi, Wheeze. Wheeze, don't worry. Dr. Lewis hasn't been on for very long, maybe just about 10 minutes or so. Mycona hex. Okay. Mycona hex. The what? Okay. I don't know what's happening here with all this technology.
There's another great one, but I need to look it up.
Okay, gotcha. Well, if anybody has any other questions or anything like that, what is today? Today's Monday. Mondays are hit or miss on social media. It's either crazy busy or one time I was at Walmart doing a live from Walmart in the chat room. It was wild. I couldn't keep up with the questions. I mean the feed was just going vroom, vroom, vroom. My kind of heck.
Here, tell you what, because there's not like a lot of people in here, so I don't want to like or a video myself in a long time. My next video post, I will cover some of these products and a bit about environmental and food allergies. When I do my live feeds, this issue comes up over and over and over. I talk about it a lot.
Yeah. Yep. And whenever you're done, hit me up and let me know, and I'll post a link in my stuff so people can go see the product reviews and so forth, or just go to your social media in general. Yeah, I've been on for about an hour and a half myself, but yeah, isn't that weird, Dr. Lewis? Like when I was a kid, I had plaque psoriasis over 80% of my body. They didn't know what it was at first, but after a couple of years, they figured it out and they told me, "Oh, going to grab some dinner." Okay, have a good night, Dr. Lewis. So my plaque psoriasis was all over my body, but the doctor recommended I go to the beach and stop eating bread, and it went away. It was just that simple. Anybody have any other questions? I'm probably going to be hopping off here in a minute. Again, anybody in here, I'd really appreciate your support at petshoptalk.com. I'm trying to convince Dr. Lewis to give some crazy stories because he's been a veterinarian for 23 years. I'm trying to get him to divulge some crazy stories of his own on petshoptalk.com. Dr. Lewis is he's very different. He's not like the average snobby veterinarian that you would run into. And Dr. Lewis, his type of veterinarian is few and far between. There's not enough Dr. Lewis's around, if you ask me. I mean, some veterinarians, like if you said, if you call up to ask question, and when they want you to pay that fee and so forth. So thank you, Dr. Lewis, if you can still hear me. Bon, you're welcome. He does, but I don't know what it is. So his name is Dr. Andrew Lewis, and he's in Huntington Beach, California.
They can just click on his name and go.
Oh, yeah, Weez, my Wi-Fi is so bad. Weez, you can just click on his picture, on his thumbnail picture there, and it'll take you right to it. I didn't think of that. I'm not that hip. All right, anybody else got any last questions? Again, I really, last minute questions. I really appreciate the support at petshoptalk.com. You would get personalized help, no problem. If anybody can help support by joining the community, you'll have to tell me what you're saying later.
I'm telling you to point to
Oh, that right there. Okay, I'm supposed to point to this. Wait, it's this way. Well, I got TikTok here, YouTube here, and what's this?
Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. And my Wi-Fi is terrible right now. It is awful. I have a boxer pit. I'm looking for a good dog food. You know what? I have a picture of one of my employees' dogs that was a purebred boxer. This thing was amazing. Let me see if I can find it real quick. This dog was eating Acana, A-C-A-N-A. But Acana got sold. Acana and Origin were sold to Mars. So I no longer recommend that food to people. But hang on one second. I mean, this dog looked amazing. Let me see. Come on. Well, actually, that's a picture of my dog there. I don't know if everybody can see that. It's got that stupid glare on there, but let me find that boxer. This thing was jacked. But if I were to recommend a food, it would be Taste Wild High Prairie, which is a yellow bag, or Taste of the Wild Prey, Prey. And wouldn't you know, I cannot find the picture. I know I have it on our Facebook page, but the dog had very little body fat on him. The muscularity of this boxer was incredible. And at the time, he was a feeding in the can, huh? I'm suddenly Italian. What's going on? He was feeding a canna, ACANA, but that company got bought by Mars, like I said earlier. So they already had the first recall as soon as Mars took it over. Big wads of fungus balls in the food. But Taste the Wild High Prairie and then Taste the Wild Prey, Prey, just the beef. And with the Taste of Wild Prey, you will feed less because there's more meat in the bag. So the feeding recommendations are going to be less. What's that?
Bye, Milo.
Oh, bye, Milo. See you later. Yeah, see you later, Milo. Anybody got any last minute questions? I love Milo's incendiary questions whenever Dr. Lewis is on, because there are some things that we differ on in opinion with certain things, but it's okay, you know. That's what keeps us all honest and so forth. But I was like, she did that on purpose. She's asking those incendiary questions on purpose. I'm not going to fight with Dr. Lewis. It won't happen. No, Dr. Lewis is a rarity. So, anyways, anybody else got any questions? I guess I'm going to go ahead and the other shampoo, the ones that I said was Earth Bath, which actually started in a zoo. It was designed for zoo animals, believe it or not. And then there's Zymox, Zymox. And their little catchphrase is D3 in a bottle. And I've used Zymox on my own hair. It's good. Yes, it will be available for replay, but only on PetShopTalk.com, because that's only for member exclusives. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put the story. You're welcome, Patty. I'm going to put the story about what happened with the Victor VP of sales when he came into the store. But I can't make that public. It has to be private. But I'm probably going to do a video on it tomorrow. You're a member, Wheeze. Yay. Yeah, all the replays should be on there, right?
I don't know that no, because they're not on school. Only it's a member exclusive live.
Oh, she said she's a member.
Through joined yet?
Through Pet. I think she joined last week or something. But yeah, if you're a member of PetShopTalk.com, you get all that kind of content. No problem there.
Oh, will this live be available? Yeah, we're going to have to try to put these lives on there.
Yeah, they give you time to...
I know, but she wants it in the community.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, we're going to do everything we can to make these lives available, Wheeze. When I see your name, Wheeze, I think of the Jeffersons, like Wheezy. And I'm like, she forgot the Y. It's Wheezy. Okay, well, thanks to everybody for supporting me through the channel. Oh, Lisa, gotcha.
Oh, okay. Lisa.
I gotcha, Lisa. Thanks for supporting me through the channel. I really appreciate it. Through PetShopTalk.com. You can also ask me any questions you want on there. You can get one-on-one, sort of like a Zoom call or like a video call. And you also get exclusive content where I will run my mouth about certain pet food manufacturers and anyways, some horror stories basically. So I appreciate everybody being here. Thanks again.